Hello guys, welcome back to Algebra. Let's talk about the lesson for today. The objective of the lesson is to identify various parts of a graph, such as where it's the negative, the positive, its decreasing and increasing part, and its end behavior. So a function is positive where its graph lies above the x-axis, and negative where its graph lies below the x-axis. So you gotta keep in mind the x-axis, and anything above the x-axis will be considered positive. Anything below the x-axis will be considered negative. As you see, I'm highlighting the line for the x-axis, and the blue part of the graph is all the positives, and the red parts of the graph are all the negative. So a function is increasing where the graph goes up and decreasing where the graph goes down when viewed from left to right. So in other words, imagine that you're tracing the graph as you move from the left to the right. Notice how as I trace it, I'm going down. Then after that, I'm moving up, and then suddenly it goes down again. So all you gotta do is pretend that you are on a roller coaster. So every time you see or that it's going down, that part is considered decreasing, and every time you see that it's going up, that part will be considered the increasing part. So it's very easy to identify once you see that all you gotta do is follow the direction of the graph. The points A and B are locations of relatively high or low function values called extrema. Point A is relatively minimum since no other nearby points have a lesser y-coordinate. Point B is a relative maximum since no other nearby points have a greater y-coordinate. So in other words, from the section of the graph that we have here, point A is the lowest point of the graph and point B is the highest point of the graph. But it's relative because we only see a section of the graph. If we were to zoom out and expand the graph, we could find other points that are either higher or lower than the current points that we have, and that's why the current ones that we have are relative, because there could be other points if we continue expanding the graph. End behavior describes the values of a function at the positive and negative extremes in its domain. So if the graph keeps going to the left side, in this case, as you move up, the graph is increasing. That means that the x numbers are decreasing, but the y numbers are increasing. As you move to the right, the graph actually keeps going down and down. So that means that the x is increasing, the x numbers are increasing, and the y numbers are decreasing. Alright, so now it's your turn. Go to assignments, then click on identify negative, positive, and it's going to open a Google form. It's multiple choice. For each part, you got to identify either whether it's negative or positive, or where it's increasing and decreasing, and also the relative maximum, relative minimum, and of course the end behavior of the graph. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.